There may be a new chapter in the information you receive from the Department of Corrections from this point forward.
First Alert investigator Beth Warden tonight tells us about a new step toward transparency. She was among a handful on a tour inside the penitentiary campus today, sharing her firsthand account.
At the invitation of the Department of Corrections, I was one of 8 people to take a behind-the-scenes tour of the South Dakota State Penitentiary.
Who gets more space, a dog in a local shelter or an inmate at the South Dakota State Penitentiary? If you guessed a dog, you're correct. Using the same guidelines as the American Veteran Medical Association shelter, which many local shelters adhere to, 2 inmates should be housed in a 98 square foot cell. At the penitentiary, those 2 inmates are in nearly half of that, at 56 square feet. And beyond the space, there's the heat both inmates and staff endure.
You don't understand what the environment is they have to work in.
At East Hall today, our faces were red, sweat was dripping, and inmates counted themselves lucky if they bought a commissary fan, even with the AC on. The muggy conditions were stifled even more by the smoke wafting up from a 3rd floor cell where an inmate had likely arced a device, lighting a piece of paper on fire. It is within these conditions that those on the outside expect the inmates to find rehabilitation and be respectful of others in society upon their release. Following the tour, a time to ask Secretary of Corrections Kelly Wasco about the new level of transparency.
We have a new administration. Why? Because the old administration went to another job. So we have a new administration that has different philosophies and different outlooks on our ability to talk about things that are going on inside the agency.
The recent constructed partitions for visitations will remain due to drugs and overdose deaths.
After the first one, I am not going to lose these inmates because they don't know the concentration or the lethality of what they were consuming.
One thing that won't be changing is the disciplinary policy, despite some criticism.
The new penitentiary should be done in about 3.5 to 4 years. In the meantime, Wasco is working on increasing staffing levels. At the penitentiary in Sioux Falls, Beth Warden, Dakota News Now.